misconception. Christ was not Jewish, right?
That's right.
He was from the tribe of Judah. We're going to prove it out of the Bible. Give me Hebrews. Give me Hebrews 7:14. All right, you give me around 14 and 2. All right, so there's a lot of rumors spread about Christ, but the Bible, it should be the book that we use to settle all things, right? Because it said his hair was white like wool, but did we read about his feet, the color of his feet?
A lot of that's symbolic.
It's symbolic. Let's check it out. I'll prove to you that it's not. Read that.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 7 and verse 14.
Read it out.
For it is evident that our Adawan sprang out
Our
of
what?
Judah.
Read it in English.
For it is evident that the Lord sprang out of Judah.
That our Lord sprang out of Judah. Go ahead.
Of which the tribe.
Which what?
Which the tribe.
Which tribe? Read.
Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
So the time of Moses, who was the priest? What tribe was the priest?
I don't know that.
They were the Levites, right? Yeah, the Levites, the Levi, right? They were the priests. But Christ came out of Judah. He came out of a different tribe than the rest of the other priests. That was different about Christ. Not only was he the priest, but he was also king, because he came out of the tribe of Judah. I'm going to read something about Judah. Read that. Jeremiah 14 and verse 2.
What part of the world was the tribe of Judah from?
They're all part of Israel. We're all from, first of all, we're not from
So
a part of
modern
the
day
world.
Israel. They were
We're
from
not.
that area.
Let's get concept of lineage. We are from a man. We're not from a place. The children of Israel named Israel. Israel was named Canaan before we got there, right? We changed the name of the land. Like out in America, who named America America? Amerigo Vespucci. He's a European. America was named after him. Just like Israel was named after the man called Israel. Right? His name was Jacob, and his Jacob name was changed to Israel.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's who Israel was named after. Read what you got.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2.
Go ahead.
Judah mourning.
What? Who?
Judah mourning.
So now we understand who Judah is? Judah is the fourth born son of Jacob. Right? Judah. Judah mourneth. Read.
And the gates thereof
The
language.
gates language. Go ahead.
They are black.
They are what?
They are black.
They are black. Read
Onto
on.
the ground.
Onto the ground. Meaning that what? We're dark like the ground. Different shades of brown like the ground. There's many shades of brown, from a light sand beach to a dark soil. That's the colors that Judah and the Israelites came in. Right? That's our heritage.
Pilate
What
said,
about Pontius Pilate?
when
What?
Christ was standing before Pontius Pilate, they were speaking, and I forget what the exchange was, but Pilate refers to Christ as a Jew. He says,
He said
"Am I
you're the
a
king
Jew?"
of the Jews. Yes, Jew, not
Yeah.
Jewish. Jew, not
Well, he was
Jewish.
referring to Christ, like that he was a Jew.
Right.
I don't know what the words were, but
Christ is a Jew.
Pilate responds to
Pilate is not a Jew.
I know. This is what I'm saying. Pilate said to Christ, he said, I don't know what Christ said, or I don't know what the exchange was, but a response that Pilate gave to Christ was, "Am I a Jew?" So Pilate was calling Christ Jewish.
No, he's calling him a Jew.
Yeah, Jewish.
Jew and Jew is two different things.
I've never heard
right?
of
If you are, hold on, I'll explain to you. Because Jew originally comes from the word Judah.
That's right.
That's what we just read in 7:14. That he came out of the tribe of Judah. Jew is short for Judah, not for Jewish. Jewish is a religion, Judaism, right? That's a religion. That came way after, right?
Why wouldn't they do the same
Judaism
thing?
is people that saw the works of the Jews and created a religion about it and called it Jewish or Judaism. These are the actual Jews.
To be like
These
a
are
Jew.
How are they not the same?
Because they're not from the same lineage as from the people. Give me
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 10. I was in the spirit on the Lord's day, and I heard behind me a great voice as a trumpet, saying, I am the Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what thou seest, write in a book.
So now they're going to write a vision, not a parable, a vision. Not a dark saying, but he said, what you see, write it down. What did he see? Jump down to the 12th verse.
Come, verse 12. And I turned to see.
Right, to what?
To see.
So look at what, read.
The voice that spake with me.
So somebody was talking to John the Revelator, and he looked at that person. Who's it? Christ. Christ is talking to John the Revelator. So this is not in parabolic form. This is actual seeing him. Go ahead.
And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
Son of Man is Christ. Go ahead.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
Read.
And girded about the paps with a golden girdle.
Read on.
His head and his hair was white like wool.
Right here, it was white and woolly texture. Go ahead.
As white as snow.
All right, go ahead.
And his eyes was a flame of fire.
Read on.
And his feet.
And his what?
And his feet.
Read on.
Like unto fine brass.
Go ahead.
As if it burned in a furnace.
If you take that brass and burn it in the furnace, it's going to become really dark.
How does that make them black?
Right? I'm going to show you, but
It's
we're not
not-
black.
it
First
was
of all,
talking about-
we're not black. Are you black, sir?
Yes.
Look at your skin. What color you see?
Oh.
Exactly.
No, that's what you
Exactly.
are. Don't let the white man tell you
Well,
that
then
you're
why is the
black.
white man
Well,
white?
they're used
You are
interchangeably.
brown.
Well, then why is the
Listen,
white
don't
man
let
white?
nobody fool you and trick you into being anything than what your eyes see. You see brown because you are brown.
Why do you call white
Right? You're
people
not
white?
black. Black is a label given to us by the white
Why
man.
do
He
I
called
call
himself
white
white. He called himself white. He's not even really white. Right? Because you never really see somebody walk around actually white. You know what I mean? But he called himself. The European called himself white. Right? We didn't call him white.
I don't even know if they call themselves
Right?
white.
The
Their name was given to them.
The Caucasian race adopted that name white. They first was called Caucasian. You know why they got the name Caucasian?
No.
It comes from the Caucasus Mountain of South Georgia, Russia. They were Caucasian because they know their ancestors came from the Caucasus
Okay, but they
Mountains.
named themselves white?
Yeah, they
Were
named
named
themselves
by
white. No, they
Indians?
this is
The red man? They didn't, the red
you
man
can
was
look
called
up
white?
you could look at his name was Baumbeck. Look it up in the books, in the history books. He gets the credit for giving that label to the white to the Caucasians, white, right?
And
he's
they
a
all adopted it. They all accepted it.
of course, it became commonplace, just like we accepted black. We wasn't called black before the white man called us black. We didn't go around calling ourselves black. We were called Israelites. We were called Judah, Benjamin, Simeon, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar. That's what we were called.
All right, well,
we were
no
called
problem.
Israelites.
No problem about that.
Right?
The thing-
Read what you got.
But it's okay, it's
Daniel.
okay.
Hold on.
I already
I want to get away from that idea that it's a parable about his feet. You got Daniel?
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 10 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
I'm going to start at 5.
Go ahead.
Then I lifted up my eyes and looked.
And what?
And looked.
So he looked with his eyes. Go ahead.
And behold, a certain man, clothed with linen,
Go ahead.
whose loins was girded with fine gold or euphaz.
Right, go ahead.
His body also was like the beryl,
And he had a garment on, it was green. Go ahead.
and his face as the appearance of lightning,
Right, his face was very striking. Go ahead.
and his eyes as the lamps of fire.
Okay, that sounds like the same Christ that we spoke about in Revelations. Go ahead.
And his arms,
And his what?
and his arms,
His arms, read.
and his feet,
And his feet, now I'm going to talk about. Go ahead.
like in color of polished brass.
Right, so we know that brass was burnt and polished. I mean, he was dark-skinned and shiny.
That's-
Like this brother here. Like you, like him.
I'm going
Like,
to pause you there. That's where you're putting your interpretation.
Well,
It's a
you
metaphor.
put precept
Polished
upon-
brass?
precept
I can
upon
look like polished brass.
precept
Brass.
upon precept. We just read in Revelations that the brass was burnt in the furnace.
Yeah, sure.
Then we read in Daniel that the brass was polished.
Doesn't
Put
matter.
all the precepts together. That's how we're supposed to read the
That-
Bible.
but
Do
you're
you understand
still
that's how you're supposed to read the Bible?
But you're still putting your interpretation into it.
What-
Polished
what-
brass. That could be, anybody can look
You
at
don't know the
something
color of
and
brass
say,
now?
It's not meant to be taken literally.
Why
No-
not?
Nobody looks
Why
like
not it's
polished-
been taken literally?
Nobody looks like
Give me
polished brass.
Wisdom of
Nobody's
Solomon.
skin looks like polished brass.
Give me Wisdom of Solomon.
Google
give me,
brass on your phone.
Give me Job 30 and 30.
Google brass.
Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 5. Job 30 and 30. Let's see.
These
Google-
are, these
Google
are
it on your
metaphors that
Let's
the Bible
see.
uses.
Let's see if it's metaphor. Because when
Okay.
people use metaphors, they
Does the
use
Bible
something
use any
that
symbolic
they use something to what? To take place of something that looks similar or to give an idea,
Symbolic
right?
language.
Symbolic, right? So
Allegory,
now, if
right?
I say, you know, you like what's it? Caramel? Not caramel.
Sure,
What's it?
sure. That works.
Caramel? You like caramel?
Yeah, man.
All right, you
But,
work with that?
but nobody
Okay.
looks like caramel.
Yes, they do.
My wife.
Look
Yeah.
at caramel.
I get
People
what you're
have that
saying.
same
I
hue.
get what you're saying.
All right, but that's what I'm saying.
But it doesn't mean
You're
that the
making a
same is
comparison.
like him.
You're
Exactly,
making a comparison.
exactly. I
So when
agree.
they saw Christ, they made a comparison of brass that was burned in the furnace and polished. That means he was dark skinned and his skin was shining. That's all that it means. And then it told you that Judah is black.
I'm still not convinced.
We read that
you're-
Judah is black, but you're not convinced
you're
still.
putting that
All right, we're gonna
on,
get. Go ahead. Let's get the color of Solomon.
Oh, you want
Let's get the color of Solomon.
Solomon.
Yeah, Song of Solomon, sorry, 1 and 5. But you got Job 30:30?
Come on.
Give me Job 30:30 while you
Book
get
of Job, chapter 30 and verse 30.
Tell me, Job, go ahead.
My skin is black.
My what?
My skin is black.
Read it again.
My skin
Job.
is black upon me.
Now, why is Job saying his
Because
skin
he
is
was
black?
suffering.
Because he was suffering, huh?
Because he was being afflicted. And that's why he said
That's why his skin is
covered in
black?
boils.
So to be black is an affliction?
It would have been bruises.
So to be black is an affliction, you're saying?
He was referring to bruises, cuts, boils he might have had on the skin.
We
He
got
was
verses
afflicted.
that talk about
He
the
was
bruises,
afflicted.
cuts, and boils. We got scriptures that talk about that. Why is he saying my skin is black upon me?
You could. He was being afflicted, and plus you.
So
can't-
to be black is to mean to be afflicted?
No, he wasn't saying. He
So
was
then
black.
why are you making the metaphor of black to mean affliction?
Right.
Why are you making that connection?
No. What
Why
I'm-
are you making that connection?
What I'm saying is that.
But I'm gonna tell you how we know
Job
that
was
that's.
suffering. Job was suffering.
I know Job was
He
suffering.
was probably covered in bruises.
I know
you
he probably-
bruises
yeah.
are dark, right?
Yeah.
They get dark.
It depends.
Oil
My
gets-
bruise is not
gets
any darker than my own skin.
So that's what he may have been referring to. I'm not saying that
Right.
it was, but I'm saying that it could easily
Right.
have been.
Well, when you read it in the Hebrew, the word there is quadah, right? In the Hebrew, which means dark.
Dark
He said, my
skin.
skin is
Sure,
dark
sure.
upon me. So we read the Hebrew too. So we
And
don't.
plus, he
We're
was
not.
so-
We're not unlearned.
What else
We
was he
study the
saying?
Hebrew.
Right
Go ahead.
after that verse, when he said
Go
my
ahead,
skin is
go ahead.
dark, what else did he say?
Go ahead.
Book of Job, chapter 30 and verse 30.
Go ahead.
My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat.
And my bones are burned with heat. Meaning what? I'm going through pains.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I'm going through pains.
He's
All
going
right. So
through
go
pains.
ahead.
Like I
We
said.
know he was going through pain.
This is the book of Songs of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5 and 6.
Go ahead.
I am black
I
but
am what?
comely. I am black
I am
but
what?
comely. I am black
Right.
but comely.
I am black but comely. Comely means beautiful.
No, I got
I
that.
am dark
I got that.
and beautiful.
Got it.
Right? That's what Song of Solomon. This is Solomon talking about
Can I
himself.
pause it right
Now
here?
hold on before you pause. I want to show you something with
Yeah,
the
I gotta-
connection.
I gotta go back to that.
I wanna make one
Go ahead.
connection.
Go ahead.
Solomon is saying I'm dark and beautiful, right? Now Solomon is son of who?
I can't remember.
Who's Solomon's father? David.
David.
King David, right?
Yeah.
Give me Romans 1 and verse 4. Let's Romans 1 and verse 4. Let's see why we understand that Christ is a dark-skinned man. Because his forefathers said they were dark-skinned. His lineage says he's dark-skinned. 1 and 4.
3.
1 and 3, sorry.
Come. This is the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 3.
Go ahead.
Concerning his son, Jesus Christ,
Let me-
our
let me
Lord,
ask,
which was made of the seed of David,
Yeah, he came from David.
according to the flesh.
According to what?
Acts
The
13:1.
flesh.
Woo, right? According to the flesh, he was of the seed of David. So now, if Solomon is saying my skin is dark, David's skin was dark. That was his father. And he's saying he was made from the seed of David, meaning that many bloodline lineage come down to Christ. He's of the bloodline lineage of David.
Okay, the
right?
thing that I don't understand is
What's that?
why would in the Bible, in the ancient Hebrew text, why would they be using the word black the way it was used in
It's
America?
the translator. The translator used the word black. But we read the Hebrew and the word there is quadah.
Was that
You can
word-
look it up.
I got it, but was that word
Dark.
okay, well,
Like dark skin, dark hue,
there are
dark
many
shade.
people who are dark skinned. I could be
I
considered
know.
dark skinned.
It doesn't
There,
matter.
there's Hindus who are very dark skinned.
Right, but they're not
Spanish
Hebrews.
people.
But they're not Hebrews.
But you're converting it to like a racial annotation.
It
How do
is
you
a
know
racial
that, How do you
annotation.
know that? And
Because
even,
we're
even
talking.
if it was,
I'm gonna tell you
even
why
if
it's
it
a
was,
racial annotation.
It doesn't necessarily
Give me the
mean that they
lineage,
were
the pedigree.
that they were like a dark, like
Number
I,
118.
when I was like,
I'm going to go to Acts
there's
13.
something that I have to look at.
13 and 1. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was looking into
you got
something, and
Go ahead and read it, Kenny.
first century Jews looked more like Iraqi Jews. That's what they
Prove that.
Science.
There's no
Yes,
science that
archaeology.
proves that. There's no science that proves that.
Well,
All that
there
people are
is.
looking at is Arabs that's still Ishmaelites, that still live in that
You
land to
believe
this
in
day.
evolution?
Right? Does the Bible believe in evolution?
Right.
We're talking about the
That's
Bible.
symbolic. That's symbolic. But I'm saying
The Bible is what?
It's the Bible is symbolic in many terms, in many ways.
So, is there any symbolic term of evolution in the Bible?
No, because it's not talking about
No.
evolution.
So there's no evolution.
But I'm asking you
There
if
is
you
no, I
believe
know,
in evolution.
absolutely not.
I'm
I believe in the
asking you.
Bible.
I'm asking
To
you.
believe in evolution means you don't believe in the Bible.
Right.
Okay, so
You
don't
can't believe in evolution and the Bible at the same time.
Okay.
You can't,
Um,
right? Because
right.
either because the Bible
I disagree.
completely breaks down how man came about.
What
So
is,
there's no
what's your
way.
opinion on science?
Huh?
What's your opinion on
It's
science?
it's very important, but there's a lot of false science in this world.
I got it.
Book of Acts, chapter 13 and verse 1.
Yeah.
Now there were in the church
Okay.
that was at Antioch
Mhm.
certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon.
So yeah, Barnabas and Simeon, they're apostles. Check what they said about them. Go ahead.
That was called Niger.
They're called what?
Niger.
Would you spell that?
Niger.
You know where that comes from, that word Niger?
That's Africa, right? That's a country in Africa?
No, it doesn't come from Africa. It's a derivative of the word dark or Negro.
Let me read it.
Right?
Okay.
It's a derivative of the word Negro.
Okay.
They were called black. They were called Negroes by what? The natural Romans. Because the natural Romans were white people. They were Caucasian people. Right? Remember, we're out in the land. The Caucasian people invaded our land, which was Israel. Right? The Romans
Acts
came into
21:38.
Israel. The Greeks came into, with Alexander the Greek,
Well, me and my
they
friend
came into
I got
Israel.
you, I got you.
Right?
Me and my friend gotta go.
All right,
Let
go
me read
ahead,
the
go.
definition.
Go ahead, bro.
You got
What is he gonna define? What is
Definition. This is Donovan Compike Bible Dictionary,
Right.
page 399. Niger, Niger.
Go ahead.
Black.
What?
Black.
Okay, go ahead.
A surname of Simeon, one of the 5 prophets and teachers of the church in Antioch, who were led of the Lord and sent forth Paul and Barnabas onto the first
Sir.
ministry journey.
Acts
Right.
21:38.
So now we understand that what? This is why it's a racial annotation.
Right.
Because we're not Africans. We're not African Americans.
Right.
We're not colored people. We're not black people. We are the tribes of Israel. That's what the problem is. And that's the heritage that's been taken from our people. Like your friend that's standing next to you, if I ask him, what's your nationality?
21:38.
What's your nationality?
21:38.
Bahamian, right? Now, do you know where Bahamas gets his name from? Right? You see, a lot of times we just like, right? Right? But we call ourselves Bahamian, right? Now, they named Bahamas after barbarians, right? Because the Romans called the people that lived in those lands barbaric. That's where the Bahamas, Barbados, all of those lands, they called them barbaric. They took over those lands and made them like vacation states, like vacation.
I got what you're saying. They go
So
on for a long
you're
time.
not Bahamian, you're an Israelite out of the tribe of Benjamin.
Right.
Right? That's what you have to know. If anything could come out of this conversation,
Right.
you need to know that you're not Bahamian.
The thing
Right?
that I wanna-
You can't,
that-
you're not Bahamian. There's no such thing as Bahamian people.
Science.
That's a lie. You understand what I'm saying? It's a lie. It's a label put on your forefathers.
Right.
When they came to that island, they didn't come there as Bahamians. They became Bahamians on the island because the white man called them Bahamians. Do you understand that? You understand that? What were the people called before they came to the Bahamas?
I know it was like an Indian type. That was like the,
What Indians?
No, before
Come.
Christopher Columbus came there, it was already inhabited by
Right? By the indigenous people,
Yeah.
not Indian people.
It was called-
indigenous.
well,
They call them Indian, but that word Indian is a tricky word because it really means indigenous. There's no such thing as Indian people.
no, what I mean like it was
Even people in India are not really Indian, they're Persian, right? They call themselves Indian because the white man, when he came there, he called them Indios or indigenous. Then they got the name Indian. So everywhere when he went someplace and people were living there, he called them Indian. But it doesn't mean that they're Indian. So the Bahamian people were not Indian, they were Negro, of Negro descent, and they were the Israelites.
That's right.
They were Benjamites and Levites in Barbados.
That's right.
All right, that's the people that was in Barbados.
Right.
Right, not black people, not Negroes, not niggers, but indigenous people were called, they're Israelites, they were called Bahamian. That is the part of history that we've been cut off from. Jeremiah 17 verse 4. That's the part of history that we've been cut off from. And that's why we out here, because you know what? You're not gonna hear this in the university,
Why not?
right? Because the white man does not want us to have this
All over the
information.
world?
All over the world. This is the world best kept. Do we have that on here?
Yep.
What does it say right here? What does it say right here? Read this with me. The world's best kept secret.
People say
Right?
stuff like that all
All the time. But you know what? This time it is.
all over the world.
This time it is. Right? Because could you imagine a whole nation of people not knowing who they
We're
are?
not talking about. We're talking
Hold on,
about.
could
the
you-
whole- Why is it that you guys are the minority and the rest of the world disagrees?
We're not minorities.
You are the
You see,
minority.
if these people came together,
And why is it
you
that-
you seem like an educated man. That kind of, you know, you went to
Something that I-
school.
but let me-
You went to school, you read books, right? But look at this. If these people, if the native Indians, right? The Dominicans, the Haitians, Negroes, Cubans, Argentina and Chile, the North American Indians, Brazil, Uruguay, Colombia, Mexicans, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans, if they came together, would we be the minority on the earth? or we'd be the majority?
What I'm saying is that
Answer the question, brother.
They don't agree with what you're saying.
If they came together, would they be the majority?
It doesn't matter.
This would be the biggest nation on the earth. Give me Hosea 1 and
What I'm
10.
saying
This would be the biggest nation on the
I
earth.
agree.
Okay, that's all I wanted to
That's
hear.
not what I'm
I've been real, I'm still real. Haters, they can't stop it. Focused mind, infield, seeking for more knowledge. Guaranteed to make your head bounce. If you a hip hopper, historical, metaphorical, will make your mind sharper. When it's time to put in work, be diligent. You represent the Lord, if you want to have a sword, it's militant. And whatever you start, just finish it. You can't carry the load, the weight is too large, diminish it. And only deal with matters that's relevant. Cause time is precious, the mind of essence that built my intelligence. With wise man who set apart in solitary.